between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I feel like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Wise.
Dr. Jeremy Weiss here, founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders like the founders of P90X, Baby Einstein, Atari, many more, and how they overcome big challenges in life and business. Today, our sponsor is Rise25.com, where entrepreneurs of 6, 7, and 8-figure businesses come together live and in person every few months to solve their biggest business challenges, and they leave with lifelong friendships. Check out Rise25.com. It's run by myself and co-founder John Corcoran. It's application only. Today, I'm very excited. We have Jason Friedman, who's founder of CXFormula. He helps fast-growing entrepreneurial companies gain an unfair advantage over their competition. He's going to go through how you can do it, how he's done it for other companies. His clients range from solopreneurs to companies like Adidas, Nike, Universal Studios, Disney, Bank of America, Stanford, Harvard. It goes on and on. It's pretty amazing. In 2008, Jason sold his first company, Creative Realities, in the high 8 figures. Congratulations, that's amazing. He has started and successfully exited 4 other businesses. Jason, thanks for joining me.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Jeremy. I'm excited to be here.
Since it's Inspired Insider, I always ask what's been the lowest point and how you push through, and then what's been the proudest moment. What's been the lowest point and how you push through?
Lowest point, just kind of in life in general. I think I shared a little bit of that with you already, like the selling of the business and not knowing where to go and not knowing what my purpose was and feeling like, is this all there is? Like, I got a bunch of money and I grew a business and I had lots of employees and I exited, like, what's next? And having no clue and not having a big enough vision, I think, was perhaps the lowest. And I think the answer was coaching. I was going to the strategic coach still, and I was working with friends and stuff, and I was getting myself reconnected to my own big why and what I want to do, and that my future is bigger than my past, right? Like what I've done, everything I've done up to today, and I believe this is the proving grounds for what the next thing is, or the preparation for the next thing,
right? And
that you're going to keep going and keep pushing through. So that the thing that got me through that time was focusing on the future. So being future focused, and knowing that believing that my future was going to be bigger and that I could accomplish anything that I want to do. I set my sights, I reminded myself of when I was first starting out my business, how I was fearless.
When you're with the copy machine in the living room.
Exactly, the copy machine in the living room. And you joke, I'm going to find a picture that I'm going to send it to you.
I want it.
I'm going to find it. It was a Canon machine. I'll never forget it. Because I remember having to throw it out too. It was heavy. But anyway, it's like I was fearless in that moment, right? Like I knew I didn't have the kids. I didn't have all the same expenses and responsibilities and whatever. And so like I was willing to take a lot of risks. And over time, when you get more and more success and whatever, you're sometimes, I was a little bit less willing to take some risks and less willing to be visible, have a vision of the future, because I was lost. And so what I'm very good at now is I write down some 3 things I'm grateful for every day, and I think about the future and what I'm going to do, and that's changed everything for me.
What's the big why now?
I want to help other entrepreneurs be successful and live the lives that they want. So my goal for the next 5 years is to help 10,000 entrepreneurs, and then I'm going to go bigger with that goal. But I want to work with 10,000 businesses. I want to help them through developing a customer-centric mindset, really understand how to grow their business, how to create the systems and processes in their business. I'm going to let them work on their business, not just in their business, create more value, make a whole lot more money, make their competition virtually disappear by doing the right thing for their customers. And I've done it with many people before, but I want to do it exclusively with small business entrepreneurs now and help them do that. So really
What
excited.
about the proudest moment in the journey? Or one of the proudest moments?
There's so many. I've had a lot of proud moments. I mean, I think one of the things that I was, well, a few different things. Selling the business was fine, and it was not what I set out to do. I had set out to get investors for the business, and we ended up selling it because we were pulled in that direction.
So when you set out to get investors, they were like, "We want to buy this."
Yeah, that was the problem.
It's a good problem, right?
I'm not complaining,
Yeah.
but I think that's why I wasn't mentally prepared. Also, like
Right.
I wasn't in that place. I wanted to
Right.
do this for the rest of my life, which is why I'm so excited that I'm doing this now. But I think I was recognized in 2009 by Ernst and Young for Entrepreneur of the Year.
Yeah.
And just the recognition, and the nicest thing about that was people that were in my life acknowledged me in a way just through letters that they sent to me. It had nothing to do with the ceremony itself, but when they saw that, read that, and just shared like really wonderful things that they appreciated about the relationship with me. And I think sometimes we kind of don't share that with other people. So like expressing the gratitude, like feeling what people were grateful for from our relationship was moving. At that moment, it had happened. And two other times also, the strategic coach program, they ask you to do this exercise to figure out what your unique ability is.
Yeah.
Maybe send out a letter to people that are in your circle and say, you've known me for a while, what most impresses you about who I am or what I'm doing? And the responses that come.
Yeah. What did they say about you?
Huge. Well, I got a bunch of different ones, but one of them was that I have this uncanny ability to use both the right brain and the left brain of my mind at the same exact time. So I'm able to create really creative but also implementable solutions. One of them was that I'm a tremendous leader and motivator of other people, that I inspire people to action, which I thought was really, really wonderful.
Yeah.
A lot of people talked about creativity. I mean, you said that earlier too, but and I value creativity. One of the times I was at an event and someone said, if you could only leave like one thing to someone, you're on a desert island and you're going to die and this other person's going to go on, and what would you leave with them with? It was like, I want you to be creative. I want you to think creatively about anything that comes your way, because I think, most of my successes in life, and I'm sure other people probably feel the same way, they come out of periods of failure or stuckness, where you're blocked.
Yeah.
I think that ability to like just get outside of it for a second, like don't internalize it, and just think creatively about that situation. What else could you do? How else could you handle it? Whatever is a gift. So for me, that's important. It's an important part of my life.
That's such a big value for you, Jason. How do you instill that in your kids? Like, what do you do with your kids to foster their creativity or get them thinking differently?
That's interesting. So my older son, Jack, he is like super duper creative. Like he's imaginative. Like he does all sorts of like crazy play. Like he'll think of like different scenarios and he'll act them out and come up with plays and skits and things like that. So like theatrical, like superheroes or whatever it happens to be, but just always thinking of different things. Like he's talked about different ways that he would create a business in the future and use it to change the world and make it a better place and what have you. So it's kind of interesting. My other one, right now he's planning to be a ninja when he grows up. So we'll see what happens with Josh. He's very focused on that. But what's interesting, like this morning, we were talking at breakfast, and he's been watching how a lot of kids his age are creating YouTube videos. And he said to me, he's like, Dad, I'd like to create a video. And so our plan for this weekend is to shoot a video.
Get him on right now. Where is he?
And to do that, yeah, exactly. I think he's at home having a play swimming pool. But he's been like looking at how people are creating videos, and like their kids are like doing reviews of games like that they like and how they like to do that and whatever. And I think it's a skill, right? As we look at how the world's changing, like we're doing this right now, like why not start when you're 6? How great would you be when you're
amazing?
Amazing. So he asked to do that, and I thought, wow, like that'd be pretty cool. And he's been like researching it. He's like, I've got a bunch of topics I'd like to talk about. I was like,
really?
Okay.
What's he going to talk about? I'm really curious.
I don't know yet. We didn't go through. I will definitely. I'm gonna need everyone's help on this podcast to help me promote my kid's YouTube channel. So I'll hopefully you'll help me do
it.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about that. And just I think letting them be imaginative and not like. I think my parents were pretty supportive, although I remember my father saying to me when I was going to go to theater school. He's like, so I'm going to pay for you to go to school, for you to go to shop class and like point some lights at things. Like, that's ridiculous. So like we had that argument. And I was like, I think it'll turn out okay. Like, let's like, settle down. And he did, and he supported me. And then afterwards he came back and said to me, oh, I wish I did what you do. So
Wow.
that was interesting. But, but I want them to experience and explore different things. And
Yeah.
so if they want to try something, we try and encourage them to try it. And I try not to push them into anything, because I feel like, I
They'll
don't want to,
naturally kind of gravitate towards things.
like they're like my Jack is like super interested in different things, and he goes hyper like responsive and deep into certain things that he loves. And I'd rather, like it's like funny, like at school, like he hates math because of the way they give him math to do, but he is super good at math. And so when it's in the context of science,
Right.
not math, he's awesome at it. And so like I just want them to kind of explore and do that, and kind of see what they like. I love focusing on strengths, you know what I mean? So I think everything raises up together.
Jason, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time and sharing your knowledge and expertise with everyone. Where should we point people towards? Obviously, where I've been checking out and reading through the blog posts is CXFormula.com. And then obviously you mentioned go.cxformula.com/inspired insider if they want to get the ebook on the 7 mistakes. Anywhere else we should point people towards?
I think that's good for the moment. We're going to have
talk about the program a little bit, because you offer, beyond the 7 customer experience killers, what else?
Yeah, we have a couple things. Yeah. Thank you. Just to cap off on the other thing, we're gonna be launching a podcast right after the first of the year, which will be talking about all sorts of great customer experience things. So stay tuned for that. And I'm not sure when exactly this is going to go live, but I hope by the time this is live, our website will be updated, because there's a new one that I just looked at this morning that looks awesome. That's replacing the last one. That's going to have a bunch more information and blog posts and media and content stuff on there. So definitely check those out. As far as our program, we offer a couple different ways that people can work with us. The first thing is we have a program called the CX Formula online workshop, and basically we take people through a 10-week training program. And I say training, but it's really interactive. It's both online learning through some videos and stuff, some homework, and then we have coaching calls where we literally get on and work with you and coach you. So it's a real interactive program that'll help you go from 0 to 60 on your experience very quickly. And people leave that program with a very clear understanding of what they need to do. They've actually started implementing some of it, and they've started seeing the benefits of, raving customer fans, viral word of mouth, and a growth in revenue and some reduction in costs. So that's one way to do it. We also have a workshop that you can add on the end of that, which is a 2-day customer journey mapping workshop, where you come in and we work with you, and you can bring in as many of your team members as you like. We have to pay for them, but you can bring them in, and we literally go through and work on your entire customer journey. We map it all out so that you have a really huge actionable plan, very visual, but also like implementable action items from that. We do some private group coaching, and we do some private one-on-one coaching or work with people. So depending on the fit, we'll do a few limited client engagements like that each year. So yeah.
And you said there's a mastermind too.
Oh yeah. Well, so that's kind of like private by invitation only, but I do have a mastermind, and that's for I would say up to $1 million in revenue. No more than that. It wouldn't be in a peer group at that point, but it's 0 to $1 million. I think the highest person there's got $1 million, and it's a way to have a peer interaction, and we do some. It's a hybrid coaching / mastermind program. So it's not full mastermind. There's some coaching, and it's for people that are in a variety of businesses. We have both online businesses and bricks and mortar. But it's the culture of that group is important. I want to keep it small. I think there's like 4 or 5. I think there's 4 slots in that group that are possibly available, but I'm not in a rush
to
fill them.
Keep it small.
I want to keep it small, and I want to keep it intimate, and I want to keep it the right fit. So I won't put any competitive businesses in there, because we get really, into a lot of detail, and the community. It's got got like a real gestalt of how we operate it, and it's also got a lot of confidentiality. So I don't want people to feel uncomfortable sharing anything. So I don't put any competitive businesses in there, and you got to have a really the right mindset and the right cultural fit. So
you've done many masterminds and many groups and much coaching. Who do you consider some of your mentors? Who do you go to when you need business advice?
Well, I've got a tremendous amount of friends that are definite mentors that I go to. Like on a more specific way, like I'm in a group called the Genius Network with Joe Polish. I think you know that. So
well, Dan Cushell introduced us.
Yeah, Dan definitely
Dan.
introduced us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm in that group. So not only is Joe and Dan and mentors, but there's a lot of people in that group that are just amazing at different things. So you get a really wonderful group of people to choose from to meet, and obviously that's how I met you. So the network just expands from there.
Yeah.
Strategic coach, Dan Sullivan has been a coach of mine for many years. So the strategic coach has been a great program. And I'm also in Jeff Walker's Platinum Plus Mastermind. Yeah. So just some real badass people in that group.
Both groups are badass
various
people.
levels. Yeah. I mean, they're all are really great programs. So I've been very fortunate to be involved in those programs, and I learn. I'm a learner. I'm a student. I'm as much as I can teach and help other people. I'm also learning more stuff, and I'm integrating it, and I'm figuring out how to iterate stuff that I'm doing now and add newest, greatest, latest kind of stuff into it. So I love that.
Yeah,
it's fun. A lot of fun.
Jason, this has been so much fun. I really appreciate it.
This is great. I love it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Everyone check it out, CXFormula.com. You should check it out just for the mere fact of, for one, there's an amazing book there with the 7 customer experience killers, but to see how they actually work up their, customer experience for that. So
check us out.
So, thanks Jason.
Jeremy. All right, have a great one.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I feel like $100 grand.